The real reason I loved drinking alone wasn't the alcohol. It was everything that happened before I ever took a sip. Driving to the liquor store, picking up the booze, getting home, preparing. For years, I told myself that I was just relaxing after a long day, but I wasn't. It was the drinking habit warming up. I spent 26 years as an engineer before I became a sobriety coach, and the thing that finally got me sober wasn't willpower. It was understanding exactly what that ritual was doing to me. So, in this video, I want to break down why solo drinking felt so good and why that's actually the danger sign nobody talks about, and what it means if you are the type of guy who's never had a rock bottom, just a habit nobody is watching. Here's the loop I want you to notice because you're probably going to recognize it. For me, it looked like feeling the rush the moment I had decided that I was going to drink that night. Even if I wasn't going to drink for a couple of hours, after making the decision, I focused on getting to the liquor store and buying the alcohol, getting the right mixing drinks, the ice, and then thinking about what I was going to watch while I drank. Notice that none of that is drinking. That's the setup. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The setup is doing something to your brain before the alcohol ever does anything to your body. There's a reason for that. I'm going to come back to it in a moment. But first, I want you to sit with something uncomfortable. That part, that setup felt good. Not the hangover, not the next morning or the consequences, but the ritual itself. And that is exactly why this was so dangerous. We don't build routines around things that feel bad. It didn't start like that though. When I was younger, drinking was social. Friday after school with my best friends, and I genuinely had fun laughing and acting stupid. And later on, drinking after work, at my friend's place, or at a bar. And the turn happens slowly. In the beginning, I'll be out with people having a good time, having a good laugh, until at some point, somewhere along the way, a thought crept up. And it was like, I can't wait to get home. Not home to sleep, but home to keep drinking alone. If you ever had that thought, if you ever left a gathering or counted down the minutes until you could be by yourself with a drink, I want you to hear this. That's not you being introverted or wanting to be by yourself. It's the beginning of a pattern and it has a name. I'll tell you in a second. But first, here's the part that made it so hard for me to see it in myself. What made it so hard to see it was that when you're drinking alone, there's no one there to catch it. No guardrails. Not because anybody is watching you when you drink with other people, but because the present, just being with others, keeps something in check. A version of you that behaves. Alone, that version doesn't have to show up. And when that version doesn't have to show up, guess what happens? You already know the answer. You're thinking, well, I'm not hurting anyone, so you can drink fast, one after another. You don't need to follow anybody's space because you're fearing to stand out. You don't need to pretend that you're cool, and getting wasted is okay. There's no judgment, nobody's there. And the drunker you get, the more you drink, even way past what would be safe. And this is the part that people miss. Is not that drinking alone is automatically worse than drinking with somebody else, is that it removes the only thing that is keeping your drinking honest. Earlier I said that there is a reason the ritual itself feels good. Before you had even had a drink, here's the short version. Your brain doesn't release its biggest reward signal when you drink. It releases it in anticipation of the drink. The stop at the store, the walk through the door, the sounds of the bottle opening, putting the ice on the glass, and turning on the TV. Your brain is already rewarding you with and releasing feel good chemicals, even before alcohol does anything at all in your system. And that is not a character flaw. It's just how the system works. But it means that the thing you actually loved wasn't the alcohol, it was the ritual. And that changes everything about how you'd actually deal with this, because you can't white knuckle your way out of a ritual for too long. You have to understand it. If you're watching this and thinking, well, I've never lost a job, I never gotten a DUI, and my life doesn't look like a mess, I'm not talking about your life falling apart. I'm talking about a nightly appointment that you keep with a door locked behind you. And that's not nothing, just because nobody else has noticed yet. So I love drinking alone. That was the problem. Not because it was ugly, but because it felt like me time, like mine, and no one else was in the room to tell me otherwise. Now, understanding why this happens is one thing, but there's specific pattern underneath, a mechanism that explains exactly how that ritual turns into dependency, and how to tell if you have crossed that line, even if nothing has gone wrong yet. That is exactly what this next video is about. So I'll see you there.